4:22 a.m. Head to the gym. We got legs. It's cold. I'm tired. I'm tired. But we're excited. We're ready to get back into it. Been on vacation for about a week. I didn't stop working out. I kept myself moving. Like I said in my previous video, if there's a will, there's a way. You got to keep moving if those are the goals. So I'm mainly excited because now I get to have a full-on gym. Right, we get to be back in the full atmosphere of training again and have all the accessories, have all the equipment, have all the things that are really capable of spicing up a workout. So we're excited to get that rocking and rolling. But man, really cool trip. Headed over to Connecticut and Massachusetts, kind of around the border, and got to celebrate one of my best friend's weddings. I got to be in the wedding, so to me it was incredibly special. It was one of the very first times that I was a part of someone's wedding in that way, and it's a cool experience being in that spot. So it was a beautiful day, beautiful place we went to. Everything was just incredible, and really cool thing too. I had a lot of my friends from high school and college there as well, so just that ability to catch up and see some familiar faces, like some of the best people I've had in my life, was just really cool. It was like truly, it was given for sure, and it was a good recharge. And I think one of the really cool things that I got to experience, and I hope that you guys take an opportunity to experience this, or maybe you have already, but just that ability to reflect, whether it's with them or with yourself afterwards, and kind of just that understanding of how far you or they have come to, and kind of like game recognizes game, right? We want to make sure that we're not just growing, but people around us are growing, people are doing things, people are making themselves happy, and it feels really good knowing that my friends they're doing good things. They're doing great things. I'm not going to say good, fuck that. Doing great things, whether that's starting their families, that's getting engaged, they're getting married, they're buying their houses, they're doing their things, and it makes me really proud to see that they're taking those steps in life, because we see all the shit on the news where you can never buy a house, or love is dead, and there's all these all the typical BS you see on TikTok or the news. It's always around, but again, just very proud and grateful to know that there's good people in my life that are still doing great things with themselves too. And on top of that, gives me an opportunity to really reflect and think about how far I've come in the last 5 years since I've graduated, and seen a lot of them too. So that's where the day after, I was hungover as shit. I'll be completely honest. I was extremely hungover, so I laid in bed the whole entire day till dinner. But with that time, besides taking a nap and doom scrolling, a lot of reflection. Looking back and just being like, damn, I really am proud that they got to see who I am now, and hear some of the things I've been able to do, and share my stories, and just kind of put myself out there again in a different version. And not that I'm a different person in the sense of I switched up, but I've grown and I've gotten better. And I think that's the point, right? We're supposed to evolve. We're supposed to do things that scare us and change us a bit. And I can't recite the exact study. I should maybe do that. But I saw a study not too long ago that talks about every 5 years, you're supposed to change. It's kind of ample time for you to learn new things, practice new things, get new hobbies, meet new people, and you start to, change, who you are. And not in a bad way, like I said. Because again, as humans, we're supposed to adapt, we're supposed to evolve to continue to move forward, right? When you think about your goals, you can't just repeat the exact same thing year after year after year after year and just expect, continuous growth. It might work for you in the first few years, maybe in the first few months even, but there needs to be an additional component to it. And this is not saying that you change your morals, you change your standards, that you change who you are as a person. You keep those, but you find ways to elevate those. You find ways to continue to make those better, right? If let's say content creation, for example, because I feel like I'm in a really good groove with it, and I've had a good amount of my friends and, you know, people on social media ask for some advice and help. And, you know, for those that are, you know, feeling stuck, you know, they've been doing it for quite some time, they're not entirely sure, like, you know, what's next? Like, what's my next move with this? How do I keep progressing? You know, one, I would encourage you, you know, make sure you have a solid why, a solid reason as why you're showing up. Have a good mission, okay? Have a mission. I would always, I like to tell people you have to have a purpose and a mission, right? A purpose is why you show up for yourself. A purpose is why you are going to create this content and show up today, okay? And then that could be applicable to, you know, working out. It could be applicable to your job and, you know, all sorts of different things. But with your purpose, right, you're showing up for yourself. Why are you going to go take action today, okay? Your mission is why you're showing up for others, okay? It's why you're going out there and doing these things to inspire or help or educate or entertain. And when you have those two pieces together, now again, you have excitement, you have emotion, you have a reason, you have these little pieces that I do not think that a lot of people on social media tend to have. And that's where it starts to get bland, that's where it gets stale, that's where it gets repetitive, and you kind of lose that focus and drive. And so once you can have the purpose and the mission, okay, your why, now it's elevating the game, and it's elevating those two components. You know, how do I get my voice out there? How do I make sure my message is heard? How do I make sure that what I want myself to give to the world is expressed on a repetitive basis with high frequency and great quality? Now you can start seeing a little bit more growth. It's not gonna be, you know, it's not gonna be right away. It's gonna take some time. But okay, let me put it in this perspective as well. If you've been creating the exact same style of content, the exact same style, and you haven't done anything to switch it up, to kind of in a way get with the times, or you know, try something new, hop on a different style of format, right? If you are refusing to do those pieces, you are stunting your growth, okay? And it's not to say that you can't continue to do things the way that you are doing it, but there has to be another way to execute as well. I'm reading a really good brand building book. It's a really long title. I'll when I get to work or whenever I'm putting this together, I'll put the title down here. But with the book, they're talking about a gym owner and how in the very beginning he was really struggling with his closes, right? You know, he was having the conversation with his leads, and you know, wasn't always following through with the sales, or his sales were very low, and he was just struggling, right? And he asked for some help, and you know, the help was kind of like out there. It was very different than what he's been used to. But you know, took a shot in the dark, and it worked. Was getting ridiculous amount of leads to close, right? He was finally starting to see success come around. Okay, he did this for months and months and months and months, and what do you think happened? Everything slowed down, right? He did not have a plan B. He did not have a second plan of attack. He did not have another way to reach out to people. He solely relied on one specific way to do all the work for him. And again, nothing wrong with only sticking to one way, but eventually you get cut. Eventually you get to a point where it's just no longer feeding the funnel. So, again, it's not switching up. It's not changing who you are. It's not switching up on the morals, the core values, the mission of what you have. It's just thinking, okay, how do I just get this into a different variation for people to understand? Kind of like I talked in my last video, you know, we got to speak a different language to the people every once in a while. Because if you start to speak the same language, well, cool, you already got those people. Now we need to reach the second language. So, just and like I said earlier, I mean, this can be applied to a lot of different things. You don't want to be the crazy person that's just doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting the same result. After a while, things got to change. But that's the beautiful piece about a human, is that we can change, we can adapt, we can grow, we can overcome. So, you know, and super silly, okay? I love Grey's Anatomy, okay? For any of my Grey's fans out there, shout out to you, okay? But it just goes to show how much the human body is like a computer, okay? And I'm saying silly because, you know, this is an episode, but this does happen in real life too. I actually had to look it up because I was super curious. A man was in a coma for 15 years, and he finally wakes up, right? At first it starts with just some eye twitching, and then all of a sudden he actually gains consciousness, okay? One of the things that they called out was his ability to speak. One of the things they called out was how he was able to just talk and actually have like no issue with it. And it just like really like freaks me out in a good way that like our bodies truly are like supercomputers, right? Supercomputers with flesh, right? He was down for 15 years. 15 years. Gotta fix this hair. I don't know what's going on, guys. Down for 15 years. And then all of a sudden, just like that, was able to bring it back. Okay? We are capable of incredible things with these bodies and minds. It's just up to us to start really using them. Start really pushing the limits on them. In that case is extreme. That's, again, I'm going to say it one more time, silly. Okay, I've already cleared it. It's silly. I understand. Don't come for me. But it does happen. And our bodies, man, our bodies. Oh, sorry. Camera slipped. Our bodies are meant for great things, capable of great things, will do great things, as long as you push it and let it. And the same with your mind, same with your skills, same with anything that you truly want to do. You just gotta push. You gotta try. Just do different things. Okay. So, overall, an amazing week. Really happy to see, one of my best friends go get married. Like, that was just super cool. Good to see my friends, good to reflect, good to have the conversations. And I encourage you, whether it's, going out for some beers, getting a good workout, making it a boys' night, a girls' night, and, just talking about the good times, but now reflecting as well. Don't be stuck in the past. You can be excited about the past, you can remember the past, but don't get caught up in the past and think that's your whole entire life. You can celebrate those, but, celebrate what's going on now. Be proud of what you're doing now. Promise you won't regret it. Even do it individually. Reflect and be grateful for how far you have come, whether it's a few months of growth, a year, 2 years, multiple years, 10 years of growth. Be proud of that. A lot of people are sitting back, but we're not. We're moving forward. Okay? So, getting close to the gym. Gonna pull up. Gotta get in there, get the get rocking. We got legs. I didn't even tell you guys I got legs today. Maybe I did tell you. I don't remember. But we got legs. We're going to smash some legs. I need it. These puppies haven't really seen a good workout in a hot minute. So we're going to get rocking and rolling. We're going to kick some ass. But we're going to get better today. Let's go. And my intent isn't to like show you guys like this whole long, workout, hour or 2 long workout that I'm doing. Really, I just want to show some of the work that I'm doing and kind of the workout structure that I have, just to give you a small sample of, what I do in the gym. I am taking a break from powerlifting. For those who are not aware, I have been a competitive powerlifter for quite some time now. I've competed a good amount of times and I've won, like, got some cool medals right here, some overalls from the show, and winning my weight class and all that cool stuff, but taking a break and step a little bit more into the bodybuilding scene. I don't have like any like crazy goals of stepping on stage anytime soon. I got a lot to work on first, or just building some good muscle, because again, I've said this in the past, but focusing on just strength doesn't always allow you to build a ton of muscle. I know it sounds kind of funky, but what I'm talking about is size. I've built decent size, but I know it can build more size. So with taking a change in my training, it hasn't been like the most it's been fun. Like, I've actually been really enjoying it, but it hasn't been the most fun to share. So that's where I want to give like a small snippet and show more of kind of like the intellectual side of myself.
speak more of my mind, put out there to the world the things I want to share. A big quote that hit home for me about a year and a half ago was it's not the world's job to hear your voice, it's your job to make the world hear your voice. And I heard that in a time where I was confused, maybe not confused, maybe a little bit lost of what I wanted to put into the social media world and where I wanted to put myself, or how do I categorize myself. And what I mean by that is, I don't want to be just like another, athlete on the internet. I don't want to be just another talking head. I don't want to be just another, funny page. I want to be a good blend of that, but just more importantly, be myself. And just share things. I've had this in my bio for a long time, but just here to help pull the best potential out of people, because I know that's what I needed, and I was given that, and that's allowed me to do great things with my life and help a lot of other people in return. Which I think that's like kind of the cycle of life, where you help others, they help you. You help others, they help you. It's just constantly going and constantly going, and again, just want to be able to put that into the world. So that's where a lot of this talking is coming from. And I think as I don't think there's ever the right time, but as I gain a little bit more credibility, as my workouts start to get a little bit more involved with potential competition of some sort, that's where I will open up a little bit more of what I'm doing in the gym. Definitely want to get back to that point too, is showcasing food and kind of what the day-to-day grind is. But for now, just really sticking to a good consistent flow with what I'm posting, getting you guys amped up, getting you guys ready to go attack the world, and see in a different point of view that maybe helps you go attack things from a different perspective. Like I said, we hear things in different languages, but if I can help you take on that next challenge or begin something you've been putting off, dude, that's all I can ask for. So I'm all over the place. I'm absolutely zooted off of caffeine. Cheers, Form Energy. Okay. On my vacation, I was very limited to caffeine. Could not find any form, so I was not gonna go out there and buy a whole bunch of different energy drinks. Stuck with coffee. That did not sit well in my stomach, but now that I have it in my system, I'm freaking zooming. I'm sweating. So all over the place, but really good first day back at work, good first day back in the gym. Feeling really good. Got to get some additional steps when I get home, but that is going to wrap up the day. Going to upload this, get it rocking and rolling for y'all, and as always, much love, much appreciated. I love the comments. I don't get much, that's okay, I'm not complaining, but any sort of love that I do get, it goes way beyond anything I could truly share. It's a little thing, man. It truly is. So all the support you guys have shown, I love y'all. Maybe in the future here, I'll have to do a giveaway, something cool, something exciting for y'all. But appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Stay juicy as always, and let's make it a great week. Let's go.